Hello and welcome to the Etoft21sports show for November 22nd. How is everyone doing? My name is Eric, and I'm the man behind Etoft21sports. We have a special holiday edition of the episode. I am on the road traveling. I am coming from my sister's laundry room in her basement on my Wi-Fi from my phone. So it should be a good episode. Thanks for tuning in. Great show today. My boy XFL Jim is going to come on. We're going to talk about the key line pie bet. We're going to talk about NFL Week 11, what bets to lock in for Week 12, and my boy Gino has his horse racing bet of the day for Thanksgiving Day instead of Wednesday. But before we jump into that, I want to give a shout out to the show's sponsor, PointsBet. If you're not using PointsBet, you're missing out. One of the best apps to use for betting. Use it all the time. Download the app with your first initial deposit. Use promo code ETOFT21. That's ETOFT21. Get a 100% deposit match on your first deposit up to $2K. Great book. They pay out. They're reliable. They're dependable. If you're not using it, you are missing out. Now let's jump into Gino's horse racing bet of the day for Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving week. Figured this week we'll give out a Thursday play because they have the Thanksgiving Classic, a stakes race at Fairgrounds on Thursday. And it looks like in this 6 furlong sprint, there's a pretty good amount of speed just sort of glancing throughout the race. You have Chat-A-Lot, who will be forwardly placed in here. Long Weekend has always been very quick. You have to the outside, Simply Wicked, who's probably a little bit more of a presser, and then Caribbean Caper, who also wants to press. So I'd say combinations of maybe like 3 or 4 who are going to be forwardly placed. The horse who I'm interested in is Surveillance, who I think 6 furlongs at Fairgrounds should be perfect for him. In his last start, he was at Churchill Downs. He had kind of a slow start. He was last inside, about 5 lengths off. He was behind horses, and right when he started moving well, he ran into traffic, and then once he tried to get going again, he just didn't have that same energy. He's, once you make that decision where you want to take back and you're going to make one run, once you get stopped, it's hard to get going again. But he's run very well at Fairgrounds, and he doesn't have to be so far back. We saw a couple starts back, he showed a lot more speed, and he's got some versatility to him. I think he sits a good spot, and 6 furlongs is a nice trip for Surveillance. He's 9-2. If we can get anything around 7-2 or over, we'll make a win wager there. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope everyone has a nice holiday week, and make sure to tune in every week to find out the horse racing best bet and all the great information in sports from Eric. For me, it's always drf.com. When I'm handing and capping the races, that's the place I go to get all prepped. Good luck.
Guys and girls, if you're not following my boy Gino, make sure you give him a follow. Guy knows his stuff. I'm actually going to be on his podcast later in the week. Him and I are going to break down the NFL slate. Then him and Jim and I, who's coming on in a little bit, him and I are going to break down the college football slate Friday on BTV. Now, let's bring the man, the myth, the legend, my boy XFL Jim on the show. Jim, how you doing today, my man?
Doing pretty good. Work has been, it's been a cluster, but we're getting through. Thanksgiving's on the way, and we just had the Grey Cup, baby. I'm living large. I'm having a great time. Look at us all grayed out, too, both of us.
This was my only clean sweatshirt. I wish, but I still have I have a couple coffee stains on it, a couple pen stains on it. That's just the life I live now.
This is basically like my pajamas when I get home. That's how I'm rocking right now.
For those of you that don't know, Jim and I had this bet in the college football season. During the Big 12 preview, I said Kansas could make a bowl game. Jim said if they make a bowl game,
I said no chance.
You said no chance. If they do that, you would eat the ingredients of a key lime pie dry. Jim was a man of the word. He did that. We taped it Sunday. It aired earlier today. I just want to know how you're feeling, my man.
Well, today I'm feeling fine. Monday, it was a struggle. I don't know how PG we want to keep it. I had 2 liquid movements in the morning. We'll call it that. Okay. And then I just felt like kind of vomiting all day.
Okay.
And today it was fine. But, man, it was a slog getting through work yesterday.
A slog.
Like, I was really, like, it was like a brick in my stomach a little bit.
Ooh. All right. Well,
Pro
we don't
tip
need
for
to
everyone
talk
out
about
there, though: if you melt butter down, it's easier to eat.
a little easier on the palate.
It's way easier to drink melted butter than to eat like a stick of butter. That's a fact.
You know what? I've never had to eat a stick of butter in my life, and I never plan on doing it before.
This is number 2.
So you guys aren't here to have Jim and I talk about losing that bet. You're here to talk some NFL, how it works for everyone watching for the first time. We're going to give 3 takeaways, then we're going to give 3 bets going into next week. I'm interested to hear your takeaways, man. What's your first takeaway, my friend?
Are the 49ers a legit Super Bowl contender? I think they might be. I think that defense is good enough. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is we've seen he's obviously a good enough quarterback to get him there. And I think with the addition of McCaffrey, they have one of the best backfields in the nation. I think they are a nice, like, if you could look up the price right now, I think they're a good bet to win the whole thing.
I like it.
Especially since the NFC isn't stacked.
Yeah, I like it. A couple weeks ago, I locked them in at 14-1. They could run the ball. That's the Eagles. That's the Eagles' weakness. And I'm going to say it, and this may come off like a dickish comment. The best thing that happened to the 49ers this year, Trey Lance getting hurt.
It sucks, but I think you're right.
I mean, because I don't think he was going to be able to do what Jimmy G did. And the guy just wins. There's nothing flashy about him. The guy just wins. He just gets it done. Yeah, I agree. They are the only team that I could see going into Philadelphia in January and beating them with that rushing attack.
You know, I sounded like, are they legit? They're the 4th highest odds. They're plus, like, I got them to win the NFC at 750.
That's good. That's a good price. That's a really good price. My first takeaway is after this season, the Jets just need to cut the cord with Zach Wilson. This is a championship level defense, and what he's bringing to the table, they can't win it all. He's not even at the Trent Dilfer level where you can rely on him just to hand the ball off and not turn the ball over. He literally can't do anything. With how good they're doing, they're not going to be able to get one of the top picks like a Bryce Young or a CJ Stroud or those are only 2 I really think are going to be good out of this class.
Oh, Will Levis? No.
No Will Levis, no Richardson. I just think that they're going to have to go to free agencies. These are the unrestricted free agents going into next year. Tom Brady. I don't see Tom Brady going to New York.
Tom Brady to the Jets would be an amazing move. I would love that.
I would love it. I don't see it happening. Baker Mayfield, no. Sam Darnold, no.
Sam Darnold round 2 would be almost as good as Tom Brady. That would be awesome.
Teddy Bridgewater, no.
Not as a starter, no.
I think Daniel Jones, I think he's going to re-sign with the Giants. Brissett, no. Geno Smith, maybe.
I think he might stay.
I think he's going to probably stay in Seattle. You're right. Lamar Jackson, I don't think so. I think he's going to re-up. I mean, like, realistically, looking at this list, I could see them going after Jimmy G because he's familiar with LaFleur when LaFleur was at the 49ers when he was the quarterback coach, or overpay for Tyler Heineke. I think that's what they're going to do next year. They're going to have to go Garoppolo or Heineke.
I wonder if Washington really tries to hold on to Heineke.
There's no way. There's no way you can. If you're getting beat out in preseason by Carson Wentz, there's no way that they're going to hold on to you going into next year.
I maybe they just made the wrong. I don't understand. I still don't understand. He's so much better than Carson Wentz.
Oh, I agree 100%. Carson Wentz is like a deer in headlights, but there's no way that if he's all that, you know what I mean? Like, he would constantly.
What do you think happens with Matt Ryan?
I think he's the offensive coordinator on whatever high school team Phillip Rivers is coaching.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I think Ryan's done too. The Colts are going to be in the market for a quarterback. It's just an interesting. Maybe your boy Nathan Rourke from the BC Lions comes down. I don't know. The Jets need someone. He's not the answer.
He's got the build. Give it a shot, New York. Give it a shot.
They have all that young talent, and they don't have it at the quarterback position. So, I mean, their window is going to shut quicker than they realize.
I was talking about this with some friends on another show. So if you redraft that quarterback class, if you take Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, and Davis Mills, what order are you putting them in?
Lawrence, Fields,
Go with Jones next?
Jones, Mills, and then Wilson last.
I know you put Mills. And then Lance is just a complete unknown.
Yeah, we don't know where we're going with Lance. I haven't been the biggest Lance guy.
I did the research. He's played less than 20 games of football.
Trey Lance, yeah, I know. Everyone thinks he's like big and he's going to be the next Josh Allen. I just don't see it. I don't see it with him. He's got a hitch in his motion.
He played one full season in college.
Yeah, I just don't see it at all. I do not see it at all with him. I think he's going to struggle immensely if he ever gets to play. And who knows if he's going to. Like, if Garoppolo takes them to another NFC Championship game, how can you not re-sign him?
It's true. You want to hear my Trey Lance take?
Yeah.
The injury bugs are going to be too much for him. He's going to drop out of the NFL. XFL. Trey Lance, XFL star.
Jesus. That'd be awesome.
Hey, that's what these leagues are for these guys that get bit by the injury bug.
Yeah. I mean, they, get your second chance, go down there. That'd be awesome. Jimbo, what's your second takeaway?
My second takeaway, and this is just a take I've had for a few weeks now, but since I haven't been on your show in a while, I'm going to let it loose. I think the AFC East is the best division in the NFL, and I don't think it's particularly close. I think with the Jets raising their floor to the level, that defense is fantastic. Everyone knows about the Bills. The Patriots defense, also fantastic. And the way that the Dolphins are playing right now, I think this is the best division in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue with that. You know what I mean? Like, every team is legitimately
Which is wild,
could make the playoffs.
I feel like preseason, me included, I think a lot of people thought the AFC West was going to be a grinder. And then
Sterling, who was on last week, when we did our preview show for that, he made an interesting comment. He said that two teams are going to very disappoint. He said he didn't know which two teams were going to disappoint, but he said two teams are going to be the disappointment of the NFL. They're going to come from the AFC.
I would argue three. I would argue the Chargers have been kind of disappointing too, but that's very typical Chargers. Yeah,
and it's possible that game they lost cost them the playoff spot.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it is legitimately possible.
You could also argue that the two of the worst, like, bottom five coaches are in that division.
The AFC
West.
Well, Hackett's absolutely clueless.
McDaniels is terrible.
Daniels is terrible. You know what? I'm gonna skip my second way, and that's a segue into my third takeaway because you mentioned Nathaniel Hackett. This is how poorly ran the Denver Broncos are. They're going for it. 2 runs inside the 12 at the end of the game. Kick the field goal, ends up it gets blocked. Who was carrying the ball? Melvin Gordon. Who got cut yesterday? Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon got cut. I mean, why are you giving that guy the ball? And then why are you cutting him after Chase Edmonds got a high ankle sprain? Now you're down to Latavius Murray and Marlon return of the Mac. You know what I mean? That just doesn't make sense why they're doing this. I don't understand what your thought process is and why it's just a poorly ran organization from top to bottom. But my takeaway was this. At the beginning of the year, last year, I said Javonte Williams was better than Melvin Gordon. Okay? Everyone said I was a lunatic. Everyone said I didn't know what I was talking about. Now Melvin Gordon is cut. Do I need to start posting screenshots from everyone that said I was a lunatic, that said I didn't know what I was talking about?
You might need
Javonte Williams. Should I just start calling these people out? Because there's like 15 people that said I was an absolute buffoon for thinking that Javonte Williams was better than Melvin Gordon.
Pull out the screenshots.
You know what? I'm going to do that next episode. I
love it.
I mean, I'm a petty dude. I keep receipts like no other. I keep receipts. I still have, who's the anchor from ESPN? Last name, I forget her first name. Last name Hill.
Oh, it's not Lauren.
No, that's the singer from the Fugees.
That's the singer. Jameel
Hill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield was drafted first. She tweeted out something. I said Baker Mayfield's not even going to make it to his second contract with the Cleveland Browns. And she said,
I feel so bad. I was on the Baker train so hard.
and like she like said, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I mean, maybe I should do that one.
You should.
Maybe I should just start taking receipts. But yeah, it's just that my third takeaway is all the Melvin Gordon lovers are being awful quiet today after he got cut. That was my second takeaway. What's your third takeaway?
My third takeaway is I truly believe, and he won't, but I truly believe that Patrick Mahomes probably deserves the MVP for what he.
I think he gets it.
You think he gets it?
I think who else is going to get it?
Who's in it right now?
Like literally, like who are you giving it to right now?
That's a good question. It's got to be Pat Mahomes, right? But
I mean, some of us locked in Pat Mahomes on this show, on the Week 2 show.
Do you not think about like fatigue? Is there like a fatigue aspect to it at all?
I don't think so.
Because I feel like he could win it every year.
I mean, like, how can you punish someone that wins?
It's true.
You know,
I feel like with Josh Allen going down like that.
I mean, I'm pulling it up right now.
He's the favorite. He's the odds-on favorite.
Yeah, and we got him at what do we get him at? We got him at 12-1 on this show, I believe. Yeah, he's minus 150. He's minus 150. So we're sitting pretty good at that. I think Josh Allen lost it in that game against the Vikings. I'm not going to lie.
Is Jalen Hurts still alive for it?
I'll tell you what. Jalen Hurts, I'll admit when I'm wrong. I was the biggest critic of this dude. This dude has it, dude. This dude has it. You could tell, dude. When they were driving down, look at this guy now. This guy has it. Matt chimes in. Gordon blasted a Future song, which is Sierra's ex. Wilson asked for him to be let go. All Future songs are banned in their locker room. It was true in Seattle, and Russell wins the team. If that is true,
that's true.
Petty.
That is insane.
If that is true, that is insane. I will send a text message out after the show to see if I can get some what's the word?
A little confirmation.
A little confirmation. Uncle Rico's got his birdies, and I'll see if I have my birdie can confirm that.
While we're on the subject of value and MVP, what's
don't you dare say to it? Don't you dare say to it.
What's he sitting at right now? What's he sitting at right now, Eric?
He's at plus 550.
Do you know where I got him at when I drunkenly took him this summer?
Probably 500 to 1.
Yeah, I got him at like 300 to 1. I threw like $10 on it.
Jesus, dude. You and Tua, man. You're Tua.
I am 2-on. Oh, coach of the year, though. Potential coach of the year.
Coach of the year is going to be really interesting.
There's so many options. There's so many options for coach of the year. That could be my other point is there's so many options. Like, I don't know who to give coach of the year to right now. There's so many choices.
I mean, coach of the year, I'm looking at it right now on Sirianni's the favorite. Then your boy McDaniel's 5-1. O'Connell's plus 650. The Bulls plus 800.
What's Pete Carroll at?
Pete Carroll is 12-1. How's Vrabel 40-1? Vrabel, in my eyes, is the best coach in the NFL.
He's like top 5 for me, top 3 easily. The Titans this year in particular, they're going under the radar. I don't hear any Titan buzz, and I think that's perfect for them.
Yeah, they're just there. That's just what they do. They just win, dude.
But like last year when they were a 1 seed, it just didn't feel right.
It didn't feel right, but he just wins, dude. He's the best coach. You look at that lack of talent on that team, and he just constantly wins. My second takeaway, and this is going to rub people the wrong way, for how great Justin Fields has been, you could see him getting hurt with how much he's running. This is going to blow your mind. The last 5 games, he's had 80 carries. That's more than Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson have on the entire year. Just think about that.
Those are like running back numbers.
That's more. 80 carries in 5 games. He needs to be able to throw the ball down the field. The Bears have yet to have an 100-yard receiver this year. With how much draft capital and cap space the Bears have, Fields needs to start throwing the ball. The Bears need him to do that so they can make their step forward. Now, with him potentially missing time due to this injury, I feel this is going to hurt their development next year. And we were talking a couple weeks ago when Jason Silva was on from Betfred Sports about how I think the Bears could make the playoffs next year, and that's going to be a future I'm going to look to lock in because they were running the team like Hurts, they did with Hurts and the Eagles, but Hurts was at least throwing. He was at least having 100-yard wide receivers. My issue is Fields ain't throwing. He's just taking it and he's just running.
Is the issue, like, what receivers do the Bears have?
They have Claypool. They have Mooney.
Claypool's decent. Yeah, that's true. I'm not a big Mooney guy.
I'm not a big Mooney guy either, but he's a field stretcher. You're telling me, I mean, they have yet to have their bye. Okay, they have yet to have their bye. And you don't have 12 games in, you have yet to have a 100-yard receiver?
It is insane. That is insane.
And 80 carries? Dude, 80 carries in 5 games.
Is that counting like broken scrambles?
Just per Pro Football Reference, 80 freaking carries.
That's so many carries.
That's just not, it's just not even.
That's not sustainable. That's the opposite of sustainable.
It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. And
That's how you get a quarterback killed.
And I'll say this. I don't know why he fell, okay, in the draft. I don't know why the Jets didn't take him at 2, but could you imagine what that Jets team would look like when you have that offensive line, that zone blocking system, you have Michael Carter and Bryce Hall in that backfield, you throw in Justin Fields, and you have Corey Davis, Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Tyler Conklin. Dude,
not to mention, what's his name until he got hurt? Breece Hall.
Yeah, Breece Hall. Yeah, Breece Hall, the running back. Yeah. It's just absolutely insane what the Jets could have had if they would have drafted Fields. Well, when you think about it, the Jets are going to Jets. Yeah. So now we're at everyone's favorite part of the show, the betting part. This is where we tell everyone what bets to lock in. Jimbo, lay it on me, big dog. Bet one.
This is just kind of a system play at this point. I just bet the over in Bears games recently. But
so if Fields doesn't go to that. Oh, okay.
If Fields doesn't play, who's their backup? I forget who the Bears' backup is.
Oh, my God. That is the question of the day. Who is the Bears? I don't even know who the Bears' backup is off the top of my head.
Is it Nick Foles?
No, he's in Indy.
He's in Indy.
Who is the Bears' backup?
Is it Trevor Siemian?
If anyone can answer that that's watching before.
It's Trevor Siemian.
Trevor Siemian. Oh, my God. Siemian. Okay.
So I think Justin Fields shouldn't play. But I think the Bears are a poorly run organization, and he will play. I'm gonna take the Bears Jets over 39. Or what's our boys over at PointsBet got him at? I don't have access in my state.
Well, the funny thing is, I don't think I have access in the state I am in right now.
So, yeah, but you have access in your home.
But I'm not in my home right now, though. I'm on the road, my friend. I'm in a different state. We'll say what number did you get at your book?
I'm saying around 40, 39 and a half, 40.
All right, we'll say Jim's first bet is the Bears Jets over 40 and a half. We'll say Jim's first bet is Bears Jets over 40.
Go ahead, call me a square sharp, people. Call me that. Call me.
My first bet is Giants plus 9.5. I say it every week. Gambling is about buying high and selling low. The Cowboys just went to Minnesota and defeated the Vikings 42-3.
That was a college game.
Dude, that was an utter beatdown, dude.
That was like an early September college FCS game.
And I loved it. Teams that won the week before by 35 points or more are 43% ATS when they are home favorites. Teams that won by 35 or more and a touchdown or more favorites are 46% ATS. and then teams. Then Daniel Jones is 22-14 as a dog. That's 61% ATS. As a road dog, are you ready for this? 13-5, 72% ATS.
Lee.
I also like when I'm getting a divisional game and the team is playing a team for a second time and I'm getting more than a touchdown. I absolutely love that. And also, and no one's talking about this, Micah Parsons got hurt at the end of the game, and absolutely no one's talking about it. The weakness of the Giants defense is defending the run. I expect a heavy dosage of Saquon Barkley. Divisional dogs getting more than a touchdown this year are 5-2 ATS. I locked in the Giants plus 9.5.
I love them plus 9.5. I couldn't co-sign that one more. I'm going to take... There's a lot on the board.
Matt's chiming in.
Boom. 39
points bet, 39.5.
Give it to me. Golly. I got to roll with the Seahawks at home against the Raiders.
The Seahawks at home, what is that, 3.5?
3.5. Seahawks minus 3.5 at home against the Raiders. This Raiders team, an opportune win, I'll call it, last week.
An opportune win for Uncle Rico.
And I just think the Raiders are one of the worst teams in the NFL.
And their defense is awful.
And they have maybe the worst coach.
Bottom 5 coach. I think Hackett's worse. I think X's and O's wise, Dan Campbell's worse, but I think Dan Campbell at least motivates a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be a big X's and O head coach in the NFL if you have good coordinators.
Did you see the story that it says the Raiders are cash poor?
Yeah, I did see that.
So they can't afford to let him go, which is mind-boggling to me.
That's
which is absolute. They can't afford to let him go. That's why they're keeping Josh McDaniels.
That's that doesn't strike me as a good reason to keep.
My next bet, I'm going to the well. Give me the Tennessee Titans plus 1.5. I say it every week. There's certain coaches that I fade as favorites, back as dogs. Second on the list, first on the list is my boy Mike Tomlin. Second on the list is my boy Vrabel. Vrabel is an insane 69% ATS as a home dog, 65% ATS as a dog in general. Are you ready? Are you ready to get blown away? Vrabel, extended rest to me is 10 days or more. Okay. 9-0 on extended rest. ATS. 9-0 ATS on extended rest. Tennessee is number 1 DVOA versus the run. Mixon is banged up, could easily be out for Saturday. We all know how much Taylor likes to run the ball. I think the Titans defensive line with Jeffrey Simmons, namely, is going to be able to get to Burrow. And their offensive line still has some issues. And Tennessee is just that team that's underneath the radar. And I don't think the Bengals, who are middle of the road stopping the run, are going to be able to stop Derrick Henry. I absolutely love the Titans here plus 1.5.
You took my third one, Eric. It was the Titans money line. I didn't have them on the spread. I just had them straight up on the money line. Just in as simple as words as I say it all the time. System play. I take the Titans as dogs. I don't like them as favorites.
I mean, that's basically my play too. I absolutely love them.
I also I'll do a different one. Give me the Patriots straight up. Patriots money line against the Vikings.
Oh my God, Jimbo. Guess what my third bet is?
Is it that? Is it the Vikings?
My third and final bet is I'm going to Scolo Nation. Vikings minus 2.5. I've been fading the Vikings a lot this season, but this is the week I am betting them. Teams that have lost by 35 points or more are 64% ATS. Teams that have lost by 35% or more that are home favorites with a spread of 3 and less. Are you ready for this? 70% ATS. The Patriots are struggling offensively. I know the Vikings are banged up, but I just don't trust Mac Jones to be able to go on the road and get a victory, let alone cover a small number like this. I think this is the bounce back spot for the Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to be able to use Dalvin Cook on the run game, run the ball, move the ball. And at the end of the day, I just don't trust Mac Jones. You know, I just don't trust him.
That's fair. I also do not trust a primetime Kirk Cousins.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm not, I mean,
Turkey
I get
Day
it.
at night.
I get it. I get it. Hey, man, trust me, dude. I absolutely get it. I understand it. You know, it's Kirky Cousins, dude.
Like, I can't get behind it.
You can't co-sign?
No, I'm going to be on the Patriots in this one.
All right. Let me run this by you. I feel that they did an injustice to Mac Jones. I feel that the second year is when we see these quarterbacks take that jump forward. And when you hire Matt Patricia and Joe Judge to be your
not
offensive
a good
coordinators,
choice.
but we can see it in Mac Jones's play. He did not take that step forward the second year. He has actually regressed.
Yeah,
and I think that's hurt him a lot. And my bold prediction is Mac Jones, QB1 for the Colts next year.
You think the Colts go away from their MO of taking quarterbacks that are about a year away from retirement? And then switch to like someone who can be with them for a while?
They need to change up what they're doing.
I think probably taking quarterbacks who are about 1 or 2 years away from retirement is not a long-term strategy that works.
Well, I mean, the thing is, let's just step back and look at that team. You have DeForest Buckner, you have Shaq Leonard, you have Jonathan Taylor, you have Michael Pittman. You give me a capable core QB1, this team's going places.
I mean, you saw it with an almost like on his deathbed Phillip Rivers. This team was going places. And that was pre-Jonathan Taylor.
They were in a position to beat the whatchamacallits last year, 2 years ago. The Bills.
Yeah, they almost made a playoff with Carson Wentz.
Yeah, it's just insane what the talent they have and their lack of doing anything is just absolutely amazing, and it just shows you how.
Do you think Saturday is still there next year?
I think if Saturday would have won that game, I'm betting him to win Coach of the Year. If he would have beat the Raiders and the Eagles back to back, I'm betting.
That'd have been insane.
And did you hear Sirianni after the game? He was again all emotional about Frank Wright. Like, dude, like, okay, that's great, but you're not the owner. Like, who cares, man? I know he's your boy, but they're playing better without him there, man. He was like literally like, can't believe they got rid of him, blah, blah, blah. He's, they fought for him. It was, I don't know. I like Sirianni, and it was just.
He's sticking up for his boy. You can't be too upset.
One final question before you leave. In the Jimbo household, is it an apple pie? Is it a pumpkin pie, cherry pie, blueberry pie? What's the pie selection we got going?
We have a big old family come over, so we have a selection of pies. This year there are, I believe, 3 or 4 different pies.
Ooh.
There is a pumpkin, a pecan, a cherry, and normally, I don't think there is this year. I think there might be 2 pumpkin, but normally we also have like a rhubarb.
I have never had a rhubarb pie.
It's tart.
It's tart. We have a selection of pies at my parents' house this year. We're going pecan, pumpkin, apple, and cherry. That's what we're rocking.
The one that we're missing, and that when my ex-girlfriend's family did this all the time, it was a sweet potato pie.
I've never had sweet potato pie either.
It's very similar to pumpkin pie, but it tastes a little bit different, and I like it quite a lot.
I've never had sweet potato pie. Jim, I'd like to thank you for coming on. I'd like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. And Jim and I are going to be live Saturday morning breaking down the college football slate on the college football tailgate at 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern.
Central, baby.
And we'll be telling you what bets to lock in. Jim, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you on social media, my friend?
You can find me on Twitter at XFLGym, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, XFL Gym every Where? Find me on YouTube over at youtube.com/XFLGym. That's got a lot going on. Grey Cup and CFL season recap with this guy on Spring Fever coming up. I'm going to do my own little season tribute to the CFL next week. XFL draft analysis. We got it all.
Make sure you give Jim a follow. Until next week, boys and girls, have a happy Thanksgiving. And more importantly, don't drink and drive. Be flipping safe.